Hi folks, hope you're well. Just a quick video. I saw something earlier, truly horrendous. It was horrifying to watch. Romain Grosjean, his crash. God, I tell you, that was horrifying to watch. Yeah, that was just terrible. Yeah, it brought me to tears, that, because thinking for a second of, first of all, what's he thinking? He's in his car, he's just crashed through the barrier, it's cut his car in half. All around him is fuel on fire, flames everywhere. He's trying to get out the car as he normally would in a crash, undo his seatbelt, all the rest, because of course he's strapped in nice and blinking tight, isn't he? Jesus, what would his fault have been? In those first moments when the car exploded, you can't imagine the hovers that would have gone through his mind. And then his team. Of course, his team had been there with him. He'd been an integral part of getting Haas to where it got to where it is now. He's like family to them. How are they going to feel when they see this unfolding? They see a car crash. They find out it's his. They see the cameras there with the ball of fire around him. They see one half of the car. Jesus. And then, so you've got the driver, you've got them, the horror that they're going to experience in that moment. And then the poor sods that are having to try to put the fire out. Grosjean, is then climbing out of the car, struggling to climb out of the fire over the barrier. They're desperately trying to spray around him. Because if they spray at him, it's going to push him back in the fire. Right? His hands are burnt. He's trying to grab hold of the barrier with hands that are burnt. Oh, Jesus. And those people can see it. The horror, absolute horror of it all. Oh, my God. That's a truly horrific situation. Burning has got to be one of the worst things to happen. One of the worst things to happen. Oh. And as a driver, you've never been through this before. You practiced, because they practice getting out of the car. They practice these sort of scenarios apart from the car's not on fire when they do it. But you've never had your car cut in half and the fuel all spit out and catch fire around you. Oh, wow. Yeah, the pure horror of that. Wow. Just terrible, terrible situation. And then there's a picture of him in hospital, smile on his face with his hands bandaged. He's a nice driver. I've seen him interviewed before. He comes across as a very lovely man. And oh my God, to have gone through that. Oh, oh, jeez. Certainly you'd be thankful to be alive, wouldn't you? In that sort of situation, you'd be certainly thankful to be alive, because that is just awful. So many levels of awful. So many levels of awful. Oh, jeez. It puts everything else into perspective, doesn't it, really? When you see someone like that, it's just like, well, okay. Compared to any crap you might be going through. That's real problems, isn't it? Right there and there. So, my God, that's just terrible. Can't imagine. You imagine you're someone you loved in that situation. Oh, Oh, God, that's awful. But you had the owner of Haas would have seen it as well, and how would he have felt? The parents of Grosjean, the wife or fiance or girlfriend of Grosjean. Oh, Jesus. So many people whose hearts would have stopped at that moment for just that brief second with the absolute in-breath of horror. Oh, it's just, yeah. Yeah, there's a tremendous awfulness to that, isn't there, really? Yeah. Yeah. Right, even watching it, it was quite frightening, really. I wasn't in it. And even though it already happened, it felt so much as if it was happening right now. So, and all the other drivers clapped when they saw on the screen Grosjean climbing over the barrier. Because, of course, for them, this is a fellow driver. What happened to him could easily have happened to them. So, again, the horror that they would have been going through. Oh, my Lord. Just awful. Yeah. So many different levels of terrible in that, really. Oh. Yeah, that was tough. Yeah, can't imagine going for it. I've heard stories of people that have been through similar things. There's a Christian man who told of his story where he was in a vehicle just driving on and there was a collision. All of a sudden the ball of fire just came towards him and he just prayed quickly, Lord protect me, something like that. And he was uninjured in it. But again, just imagine for a second, what would that have been like? Wow. Yeah. Grosjean stayed fairly calm during it. I imagine there must have been a moment when things weren't so calm for him in there. Although, they are pretty special human beings, the people that can do that sort of racing because the speeds they go. But any one of us could get into a Formula One car and within seconds crash the thing. Wouldn't have a clue how to handle that sort of speed. Not a clue. Because they're not really cars, they're rockets, those things. Just shaped like a car. And the speed that they go from 200 miles an hour to stop is just phenomenal. And then back to 200 miles an hour. you're taking corners at ridiculous speeds. You're making maneuvers past other drivers, again at ridiculous speeds. You're going incredibly close to the barrier because that's the best line. Oh, no way, shape or form. Absolutely. If I drove around one of those tracks in my car, I'd be nowhere near the barrier. I'd be nowhere near the speed of my car. I'm like, okay, 20 miles an hour, that'll do. There's no way, shape or form at all I would ever try and do racy sort of driving. God, no. No, the amount of concentration, skill, and, bravery it takes. But certainly skill and concentration. And no fear. And lack of fear. Now, to a certain degree, I think fear is healthy. I think fear of things like that is good. I mean, fear of, I wouldn't bungee jump because to me, no thanks. Now, I know that most of the time, 99.9% of the time, it's healthy. One sec. My phone. Sorry about that. That was the phone going off. I've just inquired about an extra. I have a Freelander. Freelander's okay. There are some little annoying bits of it. Normally in cars you get the 12-volt points that you can put sat navs to or whatever. Yeah, this one doesn't have it. There was one in there at the front, but obviously it's been broken, so they've taken it out and just not bothered to replace it. Not that expensive to replace, I would guess. Oh god, they just haven't. So it's like, right, okay. And I do like the extras. The extras are nice cars. And the one I'm looking at, the bloke's only got 3 photos, so I've asked him to get more photos. Because if it is a 2007 version of my 2008 one, then yeah, I'd have that. I'd just sell the Freelander. Yeah, put it up for a tiny bit more than what I bought it for, because it's got full MOT. And in the end, whoever buys it's going to try and knock you down on price. So even if I get back my money, that's cool. That's cool. And just switch it over on insurance. I've got to remember which firm I'm with for that. I've got 2 cars insured. Although the Civic went for its MOT today and failed. Failed miserably, really badly. So again, this friend of mine that went with me to look at cars, the X-Trail 2006, he looked at that and said it was a good car. And it was an absolute barrel of crap, rust-wise. The Civic, he looked at that, said it was a good car. No problem getting for an MOT. Oh, so many issues. So many issues. One of them, I'm really surprised he didn't spot. Because recently, he helped me to sort out the parking brake. It was a bit flopsy. And yeah, he didn't notice that the caliper was sticking on, because that's another thing it failed on, the caliper sticking on. So yeah, so I've got someone looking to see whether they are willing to give it a go to repair it. They're looking at the MOT history, because obviously the MOT that was failed today is on there, so they're going to look through the list and see whether it's something they want to try and tackle. So yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. We'll find out. I mean, the 2007 is an extra. That's a possibility. Got 12 months MOT, so it's good. It does say it has an ABS light come on, but it needs a sensor, possibly. But the person who selling it is a garage person. What's it called? Anyway, yeah. He fixes cars, so sorry, brain isn't working. Only coffee, probably. But he said it's that. And I'm thinking, well, if it's only a sensor, why don't you buy a sensor and fix it? You can take that bit off. Because it works fine. Anyway, yeah. It's got 12 months MOT, so that's fine. Just means you can drive it. But if the ABS light is on, it could be a problem. it won't necessarily be a sensor problem. It could actually be the ABS is knackered, in which case that's not good. So I will pray about that situation and seek God on what to do about that, because what I'm going to have to do is go down Halfords tomorrow and see if I can get a 12-volt thing for this car, the Freelander. Actually, I could even go now. Not too late. 4:20, so I could do that. Could pop down there and see, couldn't I? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to do that, as well. I'm going to drive down there and see if they can put one in. So if they can, that solves the problem. I wouldn't necessarily need the extra. But for something as stupid as that, isn't it, really? Anyway, there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.